going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign of what's going to happen.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And I found a video from the Philadelphia Federal Reserve. They were holding a conference along with some professors. And they said some very interesting things. And this was back December of 2019. And how the Fed was looking at digital currencies. But one thing that popped up, it was Tether. And they actually called Tether scammy. So we know Tether is going to be replaced like I stated. We know USD is coming. We know the Fed is coming. And we definitely know the IMF is coming. But guys, we know that these digital currencies are created to move in the fourth industrial revolution. Who's going to be leading the fourth industrial revolution? That's right, China. Who controls majority of Bitcoin mining? That's right, China. So it looks like the only thing we're doing is that we're following China into the fourth industrial revolution, Society 5.0, where Asian countries, Africa, they rise, and Babylon, the America falls. Because remember, when it comes to the New World Order, everything is planned out. Y'all enjoy the rest of the video.
And although we don't think that Bitcoin is the money of the future, we think that it's got too many flaws in its design to be that. But at the same time,
blockchain world and the cryptocurrency world, for example, where the most popular stablecoin is something called Tether, which is an incredibly scammy seeming kind of solution. It's not at all clear that it is legitimate at all, and yet it's being adopted widely in the cryptocurrency ecosystem because it's there and it works for what people need. I don't want to see that become the dominant kind of system as that market expands.
But thinking about what's going on in China, the central bank there is basically trying to provide the liquidity that undermines, or not undermines, that's the opposite of what I was trying to say, that supports payments in the Alipay system. And so these are the types of activities that maybe central banks are best or substitutes. And one thing that it makes me think of is that if the central bank was to provide a substitute, issue a central bank digital currency, that would require a change in the Bank Act. And so just that alone tells you that this is something that has to be thought at sort of a fundamental level. And I think it's been mentioned in Sweden, and also I think in Canada, that this isn't just a central bank decision. This would be a government decision.
My view is I'm of course very pleased to hear that the Bank of Canada is now at the contingency planning stage, and no longer at the let's see what happens to the world type of stage. I wish we were a little longer and further along with this, and the reason why I think we should be further along is there is more to it than. I think we have to have a little bit of a forward-looking perspective on this one. And so we had yesterday Martin from the Peterson Institute basically finished his panel with saying, look, China is here, WeChat is coming, and it's coming for you, so you better prepare. Without having a dystopian view, I think you'd have to take a bigger picture view here. And there are a lot of opportunities in the digital economy, and they require modern digital payment mechanisms, and digital money is one form of that is absolutely critical for it. And one of the things of the internet that made it, difficult to have commerce is you need to actually go through a third-party provider, you need to go through credit card companies, and so on and so forth, and that makes it expensive. So payments alone, as a payment system in Canada, I can say accounts for about $16 billion a year. This is not a lot for the US, I understand, but it's quite a lot for Canadians. For payments, just digital payments that you have currently, you pay 2 to 3%. I think Square was here yesterday. They charge something like 2.6% for each transaction. That is a lot of money. Imagine you would go out, the US government goes out and adds a VAT, so value added tax, to every service of 2.6%. People would be out on the street protesting it. Right? So this is enormous tax. This is a huge friction that we have on the system. And, this does not allow a lot of digital forms of commerce that would otherwise be possible. Say, Internet of Things. You want to have micropayments on the amount less than a cent for transactions. That's not possible, I think, with the current system. Now, why is this important? For the competitive standing of an economy like Canada or the US, we are exporters of financial services, both countries, as I understand it, and exporters of services. If China, which wants to build a digital currency, a central bank digital currency, is getting faster with this and better with this, and India is getting faster and better with this, and India is already far ahead on that one too, then at some point they will develop the services that currently are provided and initiated and ideated here in Canada, and, well, not here in Canada, but in the US and in Canada. So what I'm saying with this is, on the one area where we have a huge competitive advantage, we may fall behind. And I think this is a huge threat point. And I think this is where I would like to see that central banks actually take a more proactive role, and proactive not in the sense of you don't have to develop your own network where everything works. I know that this is kind of the thinking that we have. What I would like to see is that central banks like the Fed or the Bank of Canada actually become creative and say, look, take blockchains as they are. We know they're clunky. We know they don't have the ability to just have the transaction rate that we need in order to have, to service even the payment system. It's not possible simply with the technology that exists. But issue some money there, and you can do that. We can do this right now, right? I can take my laptop out and we can issue $1 billion on that one, and then let's see where this goes. Let's see what business opportunities people, envision and what they develop with this, and just take a risk there, and just see what people are coming up with and what is being developed. So what I'm trying to say here with this is you just can't cover every angle and be absolutely secure that your digital money is not used by criminals and so on. I mean, cash is used by criminals too, right? And we still issue cash. So just take the risk and do some small experiments. And I don't mean experiments with the banks. I actually mean experiments with where real people can do the real things and see what happens. Because we cannot envision everything that people cannot come up yet. So.